Hi, I'm Cass. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be setting up my May reading journal. Now, this month I decided to theme it after a K-pop group called ONEUS. They are releasing an album in May, and they released this teaser photo recently, and it kind of sparked the inspiration for this entire setup. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. I'll be honest, this theme came to exist for two reasons. One, which is the one I mentioned in the intro, ONEUS, my favorite K-pop group, is having a comeback. And two, I forgot to order stickers off of Etsy in time, so I had to make my own stickers because I still refuse to draw in my reading journal. I am enjoying the heck out of using stickers, and why am I going to start drawing in my reading journal when I can just make my own stickers? It was a little bit tedious, but again, not too much work because all I did was just trace the logos on each cover and then size them and print them out and cut them. So it wasn't anything that took too much effort still. I would have preferred to order stickers off Etsy, but my dumb butt forgot, and I couldn't think of a cute enough theme either, and so I just decided on this theme instead. However, it does give me the perfect opportunity to tell you how I accidentally snuck into the VIP section of this concert when I saw them in March. So I'm just going to dive into a little story time right after I mention what I'm working on right now, which is a pocket for my reading bookmark. And I just like mentioning that because I feel like if you just watch me make a pocket and you've never seen any of my other reading journal spreads before, you'd just be a little confused. So I want to preface what I'm making right now is a pocket for my reading tracker bookmark, which will be shown on screen shortly. But now let's get into talking about how I accidentally ended up like 6 rows back from the front at a ONEUS concert. So the story begins, my friend Addie and I, we went to go see ONEUS, and I originally thought the tickets I was buying were for a group called Only One Of, and it was not. So when I bought tickets, I went on my playlist to see what songs by them I knew, and I had 2 in my playlist, and I was like, well, that's not the group I thought. However, I listened to some more of their songs, and, you know, I became hooked. Obviously, they ended up becoming one of my favorite groups, so clearly it worked out for the better. We get there fairly early. I think we got there an hour and a half before doors opened at 7. And we waited in line for about 45 minutes, and we started talking to this group of people in front of us. Super sweet people. We all follow each other on Instagram now. It was a fun time. But then 45 minutes in, they mentioned that we are in the wrong line because we didn't purchase VIP tickets. So Addie, my friend, Addie and I, we take a walk of shame all the way, like 3 streets over and around a corner, like a solid 2 to 2.5 minute walk to the back of the normal people line. And we are upset, to say the least. The sun was setting. It was really windy. It was getting chilly. And it was 6:30, and we were nowhere close to the front of the line to actually get into the venue. And remember, the show starts at 7. 7 o'clock came and went, and we were still outside, and we were panicking a little bit because I wasn't sure if they were going to start the show with like over half the audience outside. Luckily, remember my aforementioned friends, I was messaging them on Instagram, and they said that they didn't start the show and they are delaying it until 8, which is super snazzy because 7:30 comes and I'm still not in the venue. We get into the venue at 7:45. Now, Addie has to go to the bathroom, which I swear is relevant. Now, the bathrooms are up close to the front of the stage. There's like a little pathway on the side to walk to the bathrooms. And so she starts to walk away. I'm like, okay, I'll call you whenever you get out of the bathroom and we'll meet up again if I can find like a spot, so standing room only. However, there is a lot of people and I've got mad anxiety. So the second she's out of my line of sight, I'm panicking. I'm like, maybe I'll just go wait by the bathrooms for I don't miss her. And so I quickly tried to catch up. I cannot find her. However, I do spot my friends that I made earlier in the other line. Now, it does help that one of them was a guy that was super tall with green hair. So that's kind of a distinguishing landmark. So I kind of walk over there. I'm like, hey, hi, finally made it inside. And it was so dramatic. It was kind of like a slow turn. And how are you over here? Because I had just waltzed right into the front row VIP reserved section of the venue, and no one stopped me. I just strolled right over there. They didn't check a wristband or tickets. So I'm inside. I'm not leaving. This is really cool. This is a good turnaround from our crappy day, because the thing that annoyed me the most was that there was no signage to distinguish what the VIP line was outside and then the normal people line. So we just stood in the first line we saw because there was no signage. So I was really annoyed at the venue to begin with, and there was enough room for me. Yeah, I wasn't going anywhere. But the problem came when Addie came out of the bathroom, and she did get stopped. So my quick thinking, I turned to aforementioned green-haired dude, and he had come with his mom because he lived out of state, and so he had a screenshot with 2 tickets on it. I turned to him, I'm like, give me your phone. It's like, okay, no questions asked. I walk up confidently to that lady that was checking for wristbands, and I'm like, here are VIP tickets. And she gives me a side eye before being like, okay, and lets me in. And that is how Addie and I accidentally snuck into the front row of this ONEUS concert. It was such a good experience though, and it was the day before my birthday, so it was cool when they sang happy birthday and all my friends were like pointing at me. So that was really neat. But I just wanted to tell that story because I hadn't filmed a vlog. I did for ATEEZ, the other K-pop concert, and that was really fun. But how the ONEUS concert was going for us, it was just a disaster the entire day leading up to actually making it into the venue. And so I never made a video on it. However, I thought since I was doing a theme for my reading journal themed around ONEUS, I thought what better time to tell that story. So that is the story complete, and now back to our regularly scheduled content, which is just talking about what I'm doing. Now, you already saw my reading tracker and then my books read and reading stats. Those are quite self-explanatory. My reading tracker is just bar graphs, and books read, I just write what books I read. And then the page I'm working on right now is my favorite quotes. I did just write favorite quote on accident instead of favorite quotes, but hey, it's not my reading journal unless I mess up at least once. If you've seen any of my other ones, you would know this. Now, the page on the right, typically I reserve for a quote or a collage of sorts. However, since their new album isn't coming out until about mid-May, I thought I would leave that page empty and then do something for when the album comes out. That way I can theme it around the new songs and the new lyrics. This was also a fun theme for me because if you know me, you know I'm terrified of color. However, my bullet journal for May turned out pretty colorful and I was quite proud of it. And I didn't want to leave it too blank, so I did throw in a bit of sparkly washi tape here and there. And you can see me here, I went back on my stats page and actually wrote the stats I wanted to track. I kind of forgot about that. So the stats that I do track are the total number of books I read, the total number of books I buy, the total number of days that I read out of the month, my average star rating, and total pages read. And this was kind of fun to do the letters forward and backwards because the album is called Trickster, and in the actual writing of the word Trickster on their album, some of the letters are backwards. So every other letter I flipped. So that was a little fun to do. A bit of a brain exercise to try to think of how the letters look backwards. And this is the final look at how my journal came out. I really hope you enjoyed my cute little story time and seeing me set up. I can't wait to fill it out, and I will see you in the outro. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. It literally means the world that you stuck around this long. If you want to see more bookish or journaling content, please do consider subscribing. And if you are subscribed, be sure you turn on post notifications because for some reason, some of my videos aren't popping up in y'all's subscription feed. So if you want to stay tuned and be notified every time I post a new video, be sure to turn on the bell. Also, chat with me down in the comments, or you can join our Discord server and we can chat there. That's a new thing that I started recently and wanted to give it a go. That's all I have for now, and I hope to see you in the next one. Doodles!